Welcome to our comprehensive guide on production readiness in Go applications. Today, we'll explore the critical aspects of monitoring and observability that every Go developer needs to master. Production readiness isn't just about writing code that works. It's about ensuring your applications can operate reliably in real-world environments. We'll cover how to implement proper metrics collection, set up effective monitoring systems, create robust health checks, and establish comprehensive observability practices. These skills are essential for building Go applications that can handle production traffic, diagnose issues quickly, and maintain high availability. By the end of this tutorial, you'll have the knowledge to prepare your Go applications for production deployment with confidence. Production readiness refers to the ability of an application to operate reliably, efficiently, and securely in a production environment with proper monitoring and observability. It's the difference between code that simply works in development and code that thrives under real-world conditions. The four key pillars of production readiness are metrics collection, monitoring and alerting, health checks, and observability. Metrics collection involves gathering quantitative data about your application's performance and behavior. Monitoring and alerting help you stay informed about your system's state and notify you when issues arise. Health checks ensure your application can communicate its operational status to orchestration systems like Kubernetes. Finally, observability provides deep insights into your system's internal state, helping you understand not just what is happening, but why it's happening. Metrics are the foundation of any monitoring strategy. In Go applications, we typically work with four main types of metrics. Counters are metrics that always increase, perfect for tracking things like total requests processed or errors encountered. Gauges represent current values that can go up or down, such as memory usage or active connections. Histograms capture the distribution of values, excellent for measuring request durations or response sizes. Summaries provide quantiles over sliding time windows, useful for understanding percentile-based performance metrics. Prometheus is the most popular metrics collection system in the Go ecosystem. The example shows how to create a counter metric using the Prometheus client library. We import the Prometheus package and define a counter vector that tracks HTTP requests total with labels for different HTTP methods. This allows us to count requests separately for GET, POST, PUT, and other HTTP methods. Implementing Prometheus metrics in your Go application involves two main steps: registration and recording. In the initialization function, we register our metrics with Prometheus using must-register. This tells Prometheus to include these metrics when scraping our application. The main function sets up an HTTP handler for the metrics endpoint using prom.http.handler. This exposes our metrics on the /metrics path, where Prometheus can scrape them. When handling requests, we record metrics by calling the appropriate methods. For counters, we use with label values to specify the label values, then call inc to increment the counter. The example shows incrementing the request's total counter with the HTTP method as a label. This simple pattern allows you to track detailed metrics about your application's behavior, providing valuable insights into performance and usage patterns. Health checks are essential for production deployments, especially in containerized environments. There are three main types of health checks. Liveness checks determine if your application is alive and running. If a liveness check fails, the orchestrator typically restarts the container. Readiness checks determine if your application can handle traffic. If a readiness check fails, the orchestrator stops sending requests to your instance. Startup checks determine if your application has finished starting up, useful for applications with long initialization times. The basic implementation shows a simple health handler that returns HTTP status OK with a JSON response indicating the service is healthy. This handler can be registered on the /health endpoint. Most orchestration platforms, like Kubernetes, can use this endpoint to monitor your application's health and make scaling or restart decisions automatically. Advanced health checks go beyond simple status responses by actually testing your application's dependencies. The example demonstrates a readiness handler that checks database connectivity. This function takes a database connection as a parameter and returns an HTTP handler function. Inside the handler, we call the ping method on the database connection to verify it's working. If the ping fails, we return HTTP status service unavailable, indicating the application isn't ready to handle requests. If the ping succeeds, we return HTTP status OK with a JSON response. This pattern ensures that your application only receives traffic when it can actually process requests successfully. You can extend this concept to check other dependencies like Redis connections, external API availability, or file system access. The key is to make these checks fast and reliable, as they're called frequently by orchestration systems. Structured logging is a game changer for production applications. Unlike traditional text-based logs, structured logs use a consistent format that machines can easily parse and analyze. The benefits are significant. Structured logs are searchable, allowing you to quickly find specific events or patterns. They're machine-readable, enabling automated analysis and alerting. They offer better performance since parsing is more efficient. Most importantly, they provide a consistent format across your entire application. The example shows Zap, one of the most popular structured logging libraries for Go. We import the Zap package and create a production logger with sensible defaults. The defer statement ensures we flush any buffered logs before the application exits. When logging, we use structured fields like string for text values and int for numeric values. This creates JSON-formatted logs that can be easily ingested by log aggregation systems like Elasticsearch or Splunk. Distributed tracing helps you understand how requests flow through your microservices architecture. The key concepts are straightforward but powerful. A trace represents the complete journey of a request through your system, potentially spanning multiple services. A span represents a single operation within that trace, such as a database query or HTTP call. Tags provide metadata about spans, like user IDs or operation types. Logs capture specific events that occurred during span execution. The OpenTelemetry example shows how to implement tracing in Go. We import the OpenTelemetry package and create a tracer for our service. When processing a request, we start a new span with a descriptive name. The defer statement ensures the span is properly closed when the function exits. We can add attributes to spans using setAttributes, providing context like user IDs or request parameters. This creates a detailed timeline of your request's execution, invaluable for debugging performance issues in distributed systems. A complete monitoring stack combines multiple tools to provide comprehensive observability. The architecture typically has three main data types. Metrics are collected by Prometheus, which scrapes endpoints and stores time series data. Logs are handled by the ELK stack, consisting of Elasticsearch for storage, Logstash for processing, and Grafana for visualization. Traces are collected by Jaeger, which provides distributed tracing capabilities. These three pillars feed into visualization and alerting layers. Grafana serves as the primary visualization tool, creating dashboards that combine metrics, logs, and traces into unified views. Alert Manager handles alert routing and notification, sending alerts to various channels like email, Slack, or PagerDuty based on predefined rules. This architecture provides the three pillars of observability: metrics, logs, and traces, giving you complete visibility into your system's behavior and performance. Let's wrap up with essential best practices and key takeaways. First, define clear service-level indicators and service-level objectives. These metrics-based agreements help you understand what good performance looks like. Monitor business metrics, not just technical ones. Understanding user behavior is as important as system performance. Alert on symptoms, not causes. Focus on what users experience rather than internal system states. Use correlation IDs to trace requests across services, making debugging much easier. Keep monitoring overhead minimal to avoid impacting application performance. The key takeaways are clear. Implement metrics early in your development process. Don't wait until production. Health checks are critical for reliable deployments in modern orchestration platforms. Structure your logs from day one to enable powerful analysis later. Trace request flows to understand complex interactions in distributed systems. Remember, observability isn't just about collecting data. It's about gaining insights that help you build better, more reliable applications. Start with these fundamentals and gradually expand your monitoring capabilities as your system grows.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.